one of our fine gentlemen from there is going to join us, and we'll see what awesome questions he has for you, Bugs. I'm of course talking about the Latino Slant's own Theo Jesse.
Hey, what's going on, everybody?
Sup, Jesse?
What do you think that discipline and that honing of your craft transcended into Los Lobos and how and why they had you, Louis getting off the kit and playing. I think he plays what, jarana mostly, or I'm trying to remember, but that, and which is a rhythmic instrument. I mean, when at its core, it's more rhythm than anything else. But do you think that is what got you cemented into that, or how was it that, I mean, because they could have hired anybody, but yet they chose you and have stuck with you for a very long time. We won't give away your age.
I mean, so for me, for the Lobos thing to fall into my lap, I felt immediately very grateful and very honored, to try to just bring the best of all my abilities into that game. And because Lobos are so relaxed when it comes to allowing you to develop your sound and your connection, it took a while. They had to get used to my playing as much as I had to get used to 40 years of an amazing, versatile catalog of music. Wow. But again, I was very fortunate that these guys are just such the coolest, most consummate, but also kind of a very different in the, when you use the word discipline. And thank God I had the discipline that I had with Jumbo, which once I landed Lobos, I realized that I knew nothing about the drums. And then I had to completely absolutely nothing about the drums. And then I said to myself, I need to reinvent myself and my sound. And thank God these guys had the patience to say, okay, we're going to let the kid just learn the ropes and then he'll get there.
Oh, that's amazing. That's a great story, man. That is awesome.
There's so much to say about Los Lobos, and there's so much we could cover, but I think we need an expert at this point of the show. Perfect. I think especially to connect Lobos and Bugs and the Wolf Pack, the Los Lobos fan nation, man. I think we need like the expert. What do you say?
I think let's welcome him. Let's welcome him.
Let's welcome Big Ass Mike. So
thanks for coming on, Mike.
Thanks for coming on, Mike. So tell us a little bit about the Wolf Pack.
It's fairly new. I'm even fairly new to Facebook. But what happened was I could never find a fan page. I'm on Facebook for music, and everybody's got fan page, and they didn't have one. And I'm like, this is ridiculous. One of the greatest bands in rock and roll history. And I was ready to start one myself. And this gentleman named Juan Duque started one last March. So it hasn't been around long. And you don't have to answer any questions to get in. You just, you want to join, you join.
You've obviously been following the band since before Bugs came on.
Yes.
But it seems you guys are tight because I said, hey, Enrique, we should have someone from the fandom, from the Lobos loyal. Hey, man, I know this guy. He's Big Ass Mike. He's got the sausages and todo. And I'm like, I know that guy.
There you go. That's the picture right there.
That looks good, man. I know.
He walked on stage with that sandwich. He was ready to go. Yeah. Yeah. Listen.
Yeah.
He's got the talent, and we keep it going.
I love it, man. I love
it. Yeah. So, Bugs, the fandom of Lobos.
Oh, man. You're talking about some of the most giving, loving, friendly people, that I feel so thankful and blessed to have had the opportunity to be on the road with them for over 8 years and meet every single one of them backstage, before the show, after the show, and then they've welcomed me with open arms since day one. So, again, it's all about them, the fans, the love and support that they give us every time they come to a show. They buy a record, they buy a T-shirt, whatever it is. But, you also have a collection of very down-to-earth, just real human beings. And so it's really cool to get to know him on a personal level, like in the case of Mike and his wife, Mrs. Bam. Again, just, I mean, imagine people that are saying, we're going to go to the show and we're going to make a home cooked meal for the guys. We know
Bugs is trying to teach me Mexican. You know, I got a quick story about that. We called it the burrito story.
Let's hear it. Let's hear it.
This is about, it was a year, last March, I think it was.
Yeah.
We were in, they did a show in Rochester, New Hampshire. So I drove up there. I followed them, and then that night, Bugs and Cesar are like, "Oh yeah, we got to go up to North Conway tomorrow and play that place right over the border in Maine, the Stone Mountain Arts Center, which is an amazing little theater. They really take care of you. That place, their green room is tremendous. The food is great. But for lunch, like, oh yeah, there's a Mexican place. I go in North Conway, New Hampshire. You're almost at the Canadian border. They're like, yeah." So I reminded myself, it's called Fiesta Jalisco. So I meet them. We meet there for lunch. It's about 1:00. And so now I'm sitting with these two, you know, these guys are the experts, right? So so everybody's there ordering. Cesar really needs to know what I'm going to have. I said, I'm going to get that burrito. You thought I was cursing out his mama. Bugs goes, a burrito? That's not even Mexican. I'll prove it to you. That's not, I go, listen, I'm in a Mexican restaurant. I know it's in New Hampshire, but it's on the menu. It looks good. That's what I want. He wouldn't let me live it down. Would not let me live it down. The Pete Seeger Festival every year. It's in Croton on Hudson, New York, which is a little north of the city. So this was, I think, 4 years ago. So they have a little trailer set up for Lobos. They're the last act at around 8:00. So of course there isn't much in there. Some chips or whatever in the trailer. So they're worried about where they're going to eat after. So they do their set. They come back, and Conrad Lozano goes, "Oh yeah, the food tent is over there. Let me go see what's going on." And I'm hanging out with Bugs. We're talking. I was teasing him about what drummers he knew in jazz. You know, like I'm an expert or something. So Conrad walks over. He comes back like 2 minutes later. He shakes his head like this. He goes, "Hippie food, man. It's just hippie food there." You know, and I was like, "Well, what do you think this is? This is the kind of a, you know, it's that type of festival." Yeah. So I says, "Well, guess what? Mrs. Bam, Antoinette, her cousin, owns a pizzeria restaurant 5 minutes away.
What?
We're going to feed you guys good tonight." I should have sent you that picture. And we called over. We were there in 10 minutes. Boom, we fed everybody. And Los Lobos is now #1 in our book. And with the Wolfpack Los Lobos fan page, we're hoping to get more people on there. We're close to 3,000 members now.
Thank you.
Thanks, Mikey. Love you, man.
Love you, Bugs.
Wow. That's beautiful, dude.
Right on. That's
so
beautiful.
Cool. What's fandom? We are talking about Mexican Ironman.
Hey, how you doing? Quick little story is that Los Lobos has been part of my life in 2 phases. The first phase was when I went to Stanford, and I was a lost Latino guy in a real confusing sea. And you know, back then, I think I graduated in 87. So Pistola de Corazon, man. #1 is that whenever I had a final or midterm, I was playing that sucker every week. And then I was in my younger, better looking self. I would tour at Ballet Folklorico, and so we decided to pick like Cascabel, El Canelo, Gusto, all of basically the three or four of the songs that were in our Ballet Folklorico troupe for Veracruz. Were the Los Lobos versions.
Yeah.
And I'm curious, with all your talents, and you guys how have you guys managed to stay together? I mean, you guys just real humble guys. You get along. I mean, so many bands don't last that long.
I completely agree. First of all, I think that the heritage, everybody coming from a Mexican, from a Latino background helps a lot. I mean, there's definitely a sense of the human side of things being as important as the musical side of things. I think that they've remained together precisely because they gave each other the space that everybody needs and the freedom to do creatively what everybody wants or needs. And so I witnessed that. I'm very fortunate to have lived amongst that amazing crew for 8 solid years, and they never have anything bad or a bad word to say about anything or anyone. They just want to enjoy people, enjoy life, respect, all ethnicities, all cultures, all religions, all spiritualities. And that's what makes Lobos so special. 48 years now. Yes.
Oh my goodness. Paulie, I'm dating myself. I'm not exactly a spring chicken. Oh my. Oh no. Anyways, so good Lord. But what drives me absolutely nuts, Bugs, how are we not in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame?
There's a corporate side to that aspect of things where, let's say that if you had a certain amount of money or a certain way for a label to push for that to happen, then
you
that
get blessed.
Organization says, okay, sure. I mean, it's crazy. It's an award show that's managed by people. It's the equivalent of the Golden Globes or the Hollywood Foreign Press Association. You know what I'm saying? When at the same time, there are things that happen behind that has nothing to do with the fans or their popularity. Los Lobos are everybody's favorite band. You know, I remember being invited to a show that Eric Clapton was putting together. And so Eric Clapton's manager pulled, you know, Lobos manager Mondo and David Algo aside and said, you know, Eric owns a Ferrari, and inside that Ferrari, it's a 1 CD. It's like the old school stereo, which only has 1 seat. There's not 10 or 5, and the CD that lives in that Ferrari is Tin Can Trust. So we just laugh. And again, that's the thing that's even more important than being the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame is knowing that somebody of that caliber, that level, that has our love and respect, respects Lobos that way, you know.
Wow. I think we've come to the end of the show, man.
Wow.
I've learned a couple things.
Here we are.
And yet, you know, we could keep talking and let's go get something to eat.
I hear you.
Know,
I hear you. Yeah.
You know,
I love you, Paulie. Thank you, man, for doing this, for the invite, for having such cool, you know, such a cool group of people, just to, you know, with their great stories and their amazing energy. It just makes me feel inspired. And again, thanks to you and Latino Slant for you know, having such amazing forum.
It'll happen soon. We'll put it out there in the world. And God bless you and your families, bro. And
likewise,
please tell everyone I said hello and give them big hugs. And we'll take you guys out with some music from some drum work from Bugs. Muchísimas gracias. Take care, Bugs.
Thank you, Paulie. I love you, my brother. We'll see you again.
Love you
soon.
too, man.